Nigma knows a way of putting big puzzles in tiny boxes. Here's a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Direct, the Riddler Puzzle Box Detective Mode variant. Experience and live Gotham City with a one-of-a-kind immersive product. The Riddler Puzzle Box solve 4 awesome and challenging puzzles created by the Riddler himself to unlock the ultimate payoff prize, a 1-to-1 scale metal batarang. Every puzzle will put your Batman knowledge to test, so become the world's greatest detective with the Riddler Puzzle Box. Now, just before we test wits with one of the greatest minds in Gotham City, well, second greatest minds in Gotham City, I'd like to first thank the folks over at McFarlane Toys that did provide this sample of the DC Direct, the Riddler Puzzle Box Detective Mode variant that we could have a look at this review. There are, in fact, 2 versions of the puzzle box. The Detective Mode variant does rely, though, on black light, and just happen to have a black light available just off to the side, which I'll bring in a moment. I'm also as well going to take the tape measure and see how big this is. Now, this is a puzzle box, so it'd be safe to assume that its height is the same as its width. You're looking, though, at the puzzle box being about 5 inches in height, or it's going to be about 13 centimeters tall. As I did say, though, I have myself a black light just off to the side, which I will be turning on and illuminating as there are some hidden clues all across the box. Before, of course, we do that, though, I did want to pick up the box and show you guys what it looks like. Its construction is made of plastic, and yet there's a lot of weight behind the scenes because, of course, there's a lot of mechanical things that are going to be working inside the box to open up the various different puzzles that we will be faced against. But it's a really all-in-all nice-looking box. Again, it's been very painted well here. Sort of more of a gunmetal gray silver. You've got a little dial there on the side that will be a safe. We'll be opening that up in a second. And there is on the top as well, living up to the namesake of the Riddler, a painted on question mark. That will, of course, be one of the many various puzzles that we will be facing here. There is a total of 4 puzzles, all of which, again, have to be in order of a certain sequence. And starting first that sequence, of course, this video will be showing you guys exactly how to solve the puzzle box, but I would certainly encourage you guys for yourselves. If you didn't want to watch this review, if you had the plan to maybe get yourself the puzzle box and you don't want how to see how all the stuff gets spoiled, definitely would suggest first picking up the box for yourself. And if you're having then problems to solve it for yourself, by all means, come back and watch this video again. Now, I'm going to grab the black light again because this is going to be the detective mode version. The detective mode basically does away with the very obvious printing that some of the box, the original regular release, would have. When you shine the light for a second, say across the box, it sort of starts to illuminate clues to things that you will be having to press. Now, I already know the order that we will be pressing and activating the things on the box. So again, full spoilers being presented here in this review. But again, if you see the front of it, first of all, you can see that there's various question marks. There's actually a total of 4 question marks, with this one specifically having a box outlined around it. If you look at the top, for example, there doesn't seem to be anything, a few little flecks of, say, glow in the dark. And there's also other things that are also illuminated all around the box as well. Again, we'll be getting down to that more in a moment. The first way to solve the box is actually to look at the front here. You got these various gold knobs. They're all of a very similar sort until, in fact, you actually take yourself to black light. You see there's question marks all across them, with this one specifically being a little bit different than the others. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to press this button here, releasing the key. The key does have outlined or carved inside of it. You can see there's the question mark for the Riddler. Now, one thing that's interesting that you may not know right away is that this does have a magnet. The magnet is built into the top of the bolt, and that will be one of the things that will activate something that's on the box. Now, again, I've already taken the liberty of already solving the box. I've solved it now 4 times already. What you'll do first is you'll take the key, and if you look to the top here, now, running the light, of course, across it, there's no clues. There's nothing really to tell you exactly something that you're going to be pressing on this, not at least in this area. But if you look at the puzzle box, there's all these tiles. These tiles do shift, but of course you have to remove one of them in order to remove and start moving the rest of them. If you take the end of the key bolt and you put it right in the middle here, it removes this tile right in the middle. And from there, while nothing else really does move, if you take the bottom of it and you slide this up, you can then press the button that's located on the top. By pressing that, it opens up the safe inside, and you get yourself one part of the batarang. The batarang is a 1-to-1 scale. It's called all cast here in metal. We're going to open this up. Now, while I have solved this, honestly, I haven't even put together the batarang yet. I figured I'd wait for this review. Of course, the actual batarang itself is made of all metal. And it's got a magnet here on the side, because when you get all three of them put together, these magnets will just attach to the side of the middle piece to the batarang, and then you've got yourself a 1-to-1 prop. We're going to put that to the side because we don't need that just yet. Then you also get yourself our first clue. The first clue has crossed out seasons with only greetings down below. We open up the card, and inside it says, welcome friends to your very own puzzle box made by me, the Riddler. To continue, you'll need to phone some friends, forget the bats, call the bird and the cat, and start with your oldest friend first. Success is just a few clicks away. Good luck. E.N. Edward Nygma. So there's our first clue. Now, I don't know if you have seen this. If I tilt it slightly to the side, you may notice that there's a few little printings there on the back. We're once again going to take our black light. We're going to shine it across it. Now, in ordered sequence, you can see from the top, there's number 1 with the question mark all the way down below with the chemicals. Now, that looks to be poison ivy, and that's marked as number 9. Actually, 9 is right here, and there's some additional down below there. If you look at them, though, and we looked at the clues first indicated that we had to press, like again, we're just going to go back to the clue instructions here. It says you'll have to phone some friends. Forget the bats, call the bird, the cat. So the bird, if you look at it, the bird is actually, we've got ourselves Robin up at the top. Then we're going to be calling the cat, and then you're going to be starting with your oldest friend. Now, your oldest friend, if you look at it, if you look at the order of it, let me just put the box a little bit closer to the camera so you can see. So we'll start first with Robin, then we'll go to the cat, then we'll go to Dick Grayson before we settle then on Batman. Before we do that, though, there's one other thing that's also included inside the top here. We got ourselves a little newspaper article. The Gotham City Gazette, dated from May 1939, a reference to Batman's first appearance. Mystery Crusader thwarts murderers. And then on the back, it says to open the vault, you must have the heart. Dial the year when the Bat got his start. So based on that, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the side of the safe here, and there's a combination. Now, based on the combination, you would set this to 1939. Now, obviously, the dial is only going from, say, 20, or actually starts at 0 and works its way all the way up to 90. We're going to set it, though, to 40 or just below that. And when you get to a point where it gets past 40 at around 39, it immediately opens up then the safe. Inside the safe, you get the main piece to the Batarang. You also, as well, let me just take the plastic piece out here. The only downside is once you've solved the safe, this is the hardest part to put back in place. You also get yourself some inserted cards, and we also got ourselves another clue there as well. So we'll put the box right there. We have 2 ID cards that have been cut up, you can see. And then we also have ourselves another clue. The clue, if I just open this up here, first says Wayne Industries from the office of Edward Nygma. Inside it says, line the keys to success to claim your prize. Okay, so based on that, what we're going to do is we're going to take then the ID cards. And if you look at the ID cards, both say Wayne Industries, but one says Lucius Fox, President and CEO, and the other one says Bruce Wayne, Owner. So how do you line them up? Flip the card around, though, to the back, and you'll see it has a question mark. If you line the 2 question marks together, you'll take then the ID card and slot it on the side. There's an opening to the box. Now, you'll fit this in, and it doesn't go in all the way. You kind of have to take it and push it a little further than what you were hoping. There we go. And push it all the way in. Now, it's not doing much of anything at all. But remember that other clue that we had to work with. Where was the card? The card was right over here. Here we go. Welcome, friends. Once again, to continue, you'll need to phone some friends. Forget the bats. Call the bird, the Robin, of course, the cat, Catwoman, and your oldest friend first. Now, that would be Dick Grayson. And then from there, you'll go back to Batman. So based on the clues, if you look on the other side, actually, first of all, just before we do that, I want to run the light around the front of it. You can see it says, riddle me this. But if you look to the side, you'll see there's fingerprints on the keys, being 4, being 3, 6, and 9. So somebody's already been pressing those buttons on the keys. So if we were to say, look at the instructions, if you look at the clues there on the top, we've got Robin first, Catwoman, then Nightwing, then Batman. Based on that, you can hit Robin first, then Catwoman, then Nightwing, and then finally Batman. And when you press Batman, it then opens up the front drawer, revealing the final last step to solving the puzzle box. And opening this up, first of all, you got yourself a little question mark, and then opening up and seeing the inside, says, you solved all my riddles. Well done and congrats. Bully, for you, you're as smart as the bat. Though the game is now over, this isn't the end. But everything back and challenge a friend. Once again, from Edward Nygma. And the last thing we get then inside, which is kind of actually a little harder to get out, is the last piece to the Batarang. Now, through the many various puzzles we've already solved, you take one end of the Batarang, it slides in place like that, and then we're going to take the other end of the Batarang, and that's also going to slide in as well. And once that's in place, we got ourselves a metal 1-to-1 scale Batarang. Very nice. The only thing it doesn't have, unfortunately, though, is a display stand. And I feel like looking at the puzzle box, there may have been probably a little compartment space on the bottom that could have opened up, for example, and had a little standee. But the fun thing about this is, when you're done, not only do you have yourself an interesting looking prop that can be put on your shelf, but you can also then reset the box by pressing 0 on the keypad, putting, of course, everything back the way it was. Pressing the 0 again, then that resets or relocks the box. Because if you don't reset it, what ends up ultimately happening, every single time you put the key card in, it will then be opening up the drawer. So once again, put the key card in, which again, like the key card is only the hardest thing that seems to be. There we go. Once you push that in, normally it pops the drawer back out. So you want to make sure you reset it by pressing 0. And then the box can then be given to a friend to solve the puzzle. It's a really interesting way to incorporate a game along with an actual prop. The prop itself is the box, of course, that Riddler gives you. But the fun that goes along with it is the solving of the puzzle. Now, again, like this is the detective mode, so of course for this you may require yourself a black light. You could also go the route of going the standard release, which would have basically had all the things already printed across the box. It's a really interesting thing that McFarlane has done here for DC Direct by giving us not only something that looks great on a shelf, but something that also tests your wits as well. Well, now that we've solved Edward Nygma's puzzle box, we are gifted at least with a 1-to-1 scale metal Batarang. I'm not really sure why there had to be magnetic pieces inside the wings. Probably they may have put that also in there so there wasn't the risk that the wings slid off. Because initially, before I started putting everything together, I just assumed it was the case. I would take the side of the wings and they would just attach by magnets alone. But no, in fact, you actually have to slide the wings in the provided grooves. It's a nice looking Batarang, but there's really not much you can do with the Batarang once it's been put together. I wish that the box could have also gifted us not only just puzzling riddles, but also as well as standee that we could have actually taken the Batarang and propped it with. Without that, though, the Batarang really, other than just looking really great, it doesn't have a place to actually be stored or displayed. I might see if I can find myself a little standee to store it. I will definitely be putting this one on display. I love the idea that we got, first of all, a prop that would look like something that Edward Nygma would have, but also one that was functional. The fact that you as a collector would actually have to solve 4 riddles to unlock all the pieces required to build the Batarang. And I think that's something fun that McFarlane has done here. I don't know whether they're going to plan to release a version 2 puzzle box, but I'd be all open to the idea of getting another version of this, similar in size, but with completely different riddles from this one. Have you had the chance to pick up the Riddler puzzle box? And if you have, which one did you end up getting? Now, again, there is the regular version of it that has all basically the markings and the clues very visibly aware. Or there's also the one that we got here, the detective mode variant, that does require, at least on your part, the illumination of a black light. I kind of like actually the detective variant because it also adds a little more to the riddle as well. It's not just a case where you can actually look at the box and solve it right away. That little bit of black light also does help to give you a little bit of clues as to exactly how to solve the box. Big thank you once again, though, to the folks over at McFarlane Toys that did provide this sample of the DC Direct, the Riddler Puzzle Box Detective Mode variant. If you guys enjoyed this video, want to hit with a like. If you guys are loving the content you guys are seeing, and you certainly would like to stick around for more, if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and you're turning on as well the bell notification. Of course, as always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.